Many of us dedicate a substantial portion of our lives to work, and the quality of our workplace environment can significantly impact our overall well-being, for better or worse. Joining us during Workplace Wellness Month is Dr. Heather Farley, Chief Wellbeing Officer at MUSC. Dr. Farley, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. And this position is a fairly new one, right?
That's correct. This is the inaugural Chief Wellbeing Officer position for the Medical University of South Carolina. And many health systems and many companies are beginning to see the value of investing in the well-being of their workforce. And so we should see more Chief Wellbeing Officers around the country.
I agree. And now you recently came to MUSC, right? When did you come to Charleston?
So we moved here in April, super excited to be here. But yes, I came from a health system outside of Philadelphia and I was in a similar role in previous health system up north.
So what does this role encompass?
So I think it's helpful maybe to talk about what workplace well-being or workplace wellness is. So that refers to characteristics in the workplace that support employees in multiple dimensions. So physically, emotionally, mentally, socially, and even financially. And it's helpful to talk about that it's not just about physical health, the obvious components of wellness that we sometimes hear about. So, eating better, sleeping better, that's important, but it's also about creating an environment where our employees can thrive. So that bar is higher. And that's what Chief Wellbeing Officers attend to, is that holistic view of well-being of our employees. And in my case, our faculty, staff, and students as well.
So what does a day in the life of a Chief Wellbeing Officer look like?
Lots of meetings, believe it or not. So I think one of the really wonderful things about how this position has been structured at MUSC in particular is that it enables me to work upstream. So not just to react to create programs that support our employees when they're in distress, but actually to prevent some of that distress in the first place, and also proactively infuse sources of joy and meaning in the workplace. So as you can imagine, that requires working with all of our key stakeholders in our enterprise. So lots and lots of meetings to figure out how we can do that best, and then also lots of conversations with our employees themselves to understand their needs.
And now, what have you observed when employers do put their employees' well-being and mental and physical first? What are some of the benefits of that that you have seen?
Well, we know that when employees are thriving, that they're more engaged, they're more creative, and they're more productive. I think what's been interesting and why we're hearing more about this now and why we're realizing it's so important is that we've always known, as you mentioned, that the workplace has a significant impact on our lives. And the pandemic brought that into even clearer focus. So that intersection between our work and our life and our well-being. And 92% of employees now expect their employer to have programming that supports their mental health and overall well-being. So not only is it the right thing to do, but it's also a competitive advantage for companies who are trying to attract and retain talent, particularly in this time of workforce shortages.
It absolutely is. When you are looking and you're applying to multiple different jobs, if one company is offering this, that could absolutely be a game changer. And how would you tell a organization how to approach implementing programs to focus on their employers' well-being?
Thankfully, we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. So the Surgeon General and the Surgeon General's office believes that this issue of workplace well-being is so integral to the overall health and well-being of our entire nation that they created a framework for workplace mental health and well-being. So I'd really encourage anyone who's interested to check that out. It's so well done. But the central tenet of that framework is that our workplaces should be engines of well-being, rather than maybe places that sometimes suck the life out of us. And that requires a truly multimodal approach. There is no silver bullet here. So again, not just attending to those obvious components of wellness like physical fitness, but actually creating a culture of well-being where employees feel like they can grow and develop, where they have a voice and feel valued, where they enjoy camaraderie with their coworkers, and where they can enjoy work-life harmony.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Farley, where could employers find that framework and kind of model their own programs off of that?
So it's all publicly available on the Surgeon General's website, and we can provide a link to that as well.
Wonderful. Dr. Farley, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on this new position. And I know that you are going to make a great impact at MUSC.
Thank you. I hope so.
We're back in 2 minutes.